Good evening, everyone. My name is Shivani Prasad. I'm going to do my presentation for the unit ED252. This is my assignment 2. I'll begin with my presentation. Introduction. Learning is known as the crucial part of human development. There are many theories which educates on how to provide proper education using different methods to help students understand whatever they are studying. This presentation will elaborate more on the three theories that I have learned in this semester. This presentation will consist of strategies that can be used to teach students properly, which helps students to become more independent and gives them knowledge on certain educational behaviors which they need in order to achieve academic success. The three perspectives that I'll reflect on is behavioral, cognitive, and socio-cultural theory. This approaches encourages positive behaviors, provides deeper understanding through the cognitive development. Effective education is provided to students by using these three approaches. So basically my introduction, it states that I'll be talking about these three perspectives and how these three approaches were used in order to help students learn better. Okay. There are different strategies used by educators in schools to help students learn and to help them understand whatever they are being taught. So I'll start with behavioral theory. So this is just a basic introduction, again a short introduction. Psychology is known to offer several perspectives in order to understand learning and behavior. Each of the theory provides insights that shows how people interact, think, and learn with their environment. Behavioral theory. The behavioral theory focuses on actions rather than the mental states. For example, when a student completes their homework, their teacher might give them a reward which motivates and encourages students to do the given work on time. Behavioral theory shows how a person's behavior is shaped by the environment and their experiences through learning. B.F. Skinner believes that these rewards makes students repeat and presents positive outcomes rather than giving punishment to students, which can make students present negative outcomes. Albert Bandura extended behaviorism by introducing social learning theory, emphasizing that people learn not only through direct reinforcement but also by observing others. Okay, so what it means by this paragraph is simply that when teachers they implement rewards, when they implement something to give us in return of our good behaviors, in return of our good results, it really motivates students. And I have come across this as well when I was in primary school. So when we wanted for example, when we wanted PE class, we wanted to go outside and play. So our teacher would not want to let us go outside because she wanted us to stay inside and do our homework or the remaining of the tasks provided. And then in order to send us outside, she used to say that finish your homework, finish your whatever the tasks that are given, notes, complete your notes for example, and then I will send you outside. So this is an example. It's not a reward, but it acts like a motivation. So we quickly finished our notes, and then our teacher used to let us go outside and play. And all the students, in my experience, all the students used to finish their notes on time. So it helps us build that confidence, and it also builds that the sense of obeying and being being obedient towards your studies as well. Okay. John B. Watson is known as the father of behaviorism and is believed to have argued that psychology have to be focused, observable, and measurable behavior. He believed that all types of behaviors are learned from the environment. By manipulating the environment, a human's behavior can be shaped. Behavioral theory is believed to have extreme influence on the behavioral management theory and education. While teaching students, teachers use different kinds of strategies to help students with their behavior and to produce positive learning outcomes. This is an example of behavioral theory. This is a picture showing that a girl has won a reward and it's a medal with number 1 on it. That means she came first in something that she participated. Maybe it's a sport or maybe it's an exam and she got rewarded. So this is a kind of motivation that we were looking forward to. Even now students and they get motivated, and it shows that how interested they are in to get that reward. They really work hard to achieve the results that they require, that is required for them to receive that reward. Okay. Cognitive theory. Cognitive theory reflects on how an individual thinks, learns, and perceives. It shows how a person's mind works and processes information. Theorists believe that human beings don't respond to the environmental stimuli, but rather to informations. One of the theorists who contributes to the cognitive theory is Jean Piaget. He has proposed the cognitive development theory. Piaget states that there are 4 distinct stages which are concrete, operational, sensorimeter, and pre-operational, and formal operational. Piaget states that a child learns when they start interacting with their environment, while constructing knowledge through the process of assimilation and accommodation. This theory shows how our minds work and the way informations are encoded and get transferred from our short-term memory to long-term memory. For education and psychology, cognitive theory is known to have significant implications. Those teachers who apply this theory while teaching children to focus and clearly understand rather than just memorizing the facts. Lev Vygotsky has introduced socio-cultural perspective that shows us how cultural interactions and language shapes cognition. Vygotsky's concept of the zone of proximal development highlights the gap between what a learner can achieve independently and what they can achieve with guidance from others. This is an example of cognitive theory. So we can see how a child from a toddler stage, an infant stage, toddler stage, they grow up, and in each stage of their life they learn at each stage of their life, and through experiences they learn more, which contributes to their knowledge. Sociocultural theory. Sociocultural theory states that culture, language, and social interactions play a major role in the development of human cognition. According to the sociocultural theory, a human's intelligence originates from their own culture and society. Lev Vygotsky states that learning starts by interacting and occurs at the social level. Children start to learn by interacting within a social group before they learn individually. Basically means that children acquire knowledge from other people's experiences and guidance. For example, teachers, peers, or parents. Over time, these external interactions are internalized, forming the basis in independent thought and reasoning. There is one most influential concept in the sociocultural theory, which is the zone of proximal development, which shows the difference between learning independently and learning with support and guidance. Through the concept of scaffolding, teachers will be able to assist students, which will help them gain new skills and take up more responsibility for their learning. Language is meant to play a very crucial role in helping children to develop knowledge. Vygotsky states that language is a tool of thought, which is essential for problem solving, reasoning, and communication. Through language, children learn about their culture, values, and develop their knowledge on what they represent in a society and recognize their responsibilities. Learning activities, for example, dialogue, group work, and mentorship allow students to share and construct knowledge collectively. Sociocultural theory allows students to better understand cultural and social factors which shapes their cognitive development. This is an example of sociocultural theory. It shows components of sociocultural theory. It's by Vygotsky. So it shows social, historical, cultural, meditation, thought and language, social interaction with others, and scaffolding instructions. We'll move on to another theory, which is behavioral theory. Nature of the episode. One example of the nature of the episode is when a teacher teaches students to spell a word, for example, orange, and every time when the student answers correctly, they get a reward. The behavioral theory shows that interactions with the environment results in learning. In this episode, rewards and positive feedbacks encourages and motivates students to work hard and repeat the behavior which at first led them to receive the reward. The reward is a positive reinforcement which strengthens the connection between the response and stimulus. As time will pass, students that were rewarded for their great performance will motivate themselves to perform well in their studies and behavior. This theory helps students to work on their spelling behavior, and they will keep on studying hard so that until it becomes automatic. Cognitive theory. The nature of the episode is an example of the cognitive theory, and the nature of the episode is when a teacher is explaining maths. The teacher will teach step by step to the students to learn, and later the teacher gives them new questions and will ask the students to answer new problems using the method that was taught. In this episode, students will learn the method taught and will apply to new problems or situation. Students use the methods taught by their teacher and will use these schemes to new problems. Okay. When students are provided with problems for them to solve, the students will recall what they have learned during their lessons and will apply the knowledge to solve the problems, the questions. It focuses on reasoning, comprehension, and mental organization. So whatever is taught in the class during the lesson, they will remember it, they will try to recall it in order to answer the new questions that's given by the teacher. Sociocultural theory. Nature of the episode. One example of the nature of the episode is students of a biology class are working on a science experiment on plants. A student among the students in the lab has prior experience in doing science experiments and gardening and advises other students on how to do the experiment, while others follow the students' advice and discuss their observations. According to Vygotsky's sociocultural theory, students learn through shared experiences, social experiences, and cultural tools. Through guidance and cooperation, a student will be able to learn a lot compared to trying to learn alone. The concept of scaffolding helps students to gain knowledge and confidence, because later the students will be left independent and they will have to do the tasks alone. Learning is known as a cultural and social process, which requires students to interact and become independent after gaining knowledge. Conclusion. These theories show how learning process involves cognitive growth, social collaboration, and behavioral changes. These approaches encourages positive behaviors, provides deeper understanding through the cognitive development. Effective education is provided to students by using these three approaches. Teachers have to understand and analyze these methods of teaching to help students to develop positive outcomes. These perspectives helps educators to prepare and design inclusive learning experiences. So this is basically my presentation. It was on these three approaches: behavioral, cognitive, and social cultural theory. I have explained on these three and provided examples on the three approaches and how these three approaches are used in schools by educators and how it helps in the learning of students, how it helps them to how it motivates actually them to achieve the results that is required of them. Okay, so I hope you all liked my presentation. This is my references where I took out the informations, a few of the informations from. So these are the sources that I took out the informations from. I hope you all liked my presentation. If you have any questions, you can post comments under my video. Thank you so much. Have a lovely evening.